Guys, I hope you're sitting down because the latest truck sales numbers are in for United States.
That's right, and they are surprising throughout all truck sales.
A couple of huge headlines, and in this video we're going to cover full-size trucks, also mid-size trucks, and we'll start with full-size. And the big headlines are that GM, Chevy, and GMC have outsold F-Series Ford. I think, as far as I can remember, for the first time.
That is crazy. Now remember, this is combined. So this is GMC and this is Chevrolet with their half-ton trucks and their heavy-duty trucks.
Correct.
So that's combined
for the quarter.
For the quarter. Against Ford with their F-Series trucks throughout their whole line. And as far as I can remember, Ford has been outselling everybody, so this is huge.
Yeah, and also Toyota Tacoma is struggling in sales, but we'll get to that in the second half of this video.
That's right.
So let's start kind of from the bottom of the list for full-size trucks and go to the very top really quickly and discuss kind of why some of the things are happening.
Yeah, and that starts with the Nissan Titan. In quarter 3 of 2019.
Struggling,
7,386 sales. Now, keep in mind that in 2018 they were selling 14,545 sales.
This is for the quarter.
This is for the quarter, right?
Q3.
49.2% down.
It's about half of what they were doing last year. Obviously, so they're not doing well. But their 2020 Titan is just debuted recently.
Right, at the Texas show, you were there.
Absolutely, and it's going to be on sale early 2020. So we're hoping, or Nissan is hoping actually, that the 2020 Nissan Titan will help them boost sales and get from the bottom of the list.
Let me put it to you this way. The Honda Ridgeline actually outsold the Nissan Titan, and we'll get to that sale in a minute.
Yikes. All right, next on the list is Toyota Tundra for full-size trucks. Sold 31,565 trucks.
Yeah, now that is a loss as well, but not a major loss. Last year, same quarter, they sold 31,990 trucks, so that's a drop of 1.3%.
Yeah, actually they had a pretty poor September, but overall for the quarter they're just down about 1%,
right.
So they're kind of maintaining their status quo.
Considering that truck has had not a whole lot of revisions recently.
Right, and it's
actually
pretty old.
Yeah, it's very old.
Very old. It's the oldest truck here.
Yeah, by far.
On this list. Next up is, it's the GMC Sierra.
That's right. Now, they recently redid the Sierra, and we've had a chance to take a few of them off-road and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So, quarter 3, 2019, they sold 66,198. That is up 28.9%. The same time last year, they sold 51,368 trucks.
Yeah, and this is a huge improvement.
Oh, yeah.
So earlier this year in 2019, GMC and Chevrolet, they've struggled with their sales as they were switching from the previous generation to the current generation,
That's
2019 and 2020s. And I think what was happening, and they said it themselves, they were selling like crew cabs. They're focused on the higher
end ones, right.
Yeah, but now they have the two-door trucks, they have the regular work trucks, they're expanding their engine availabilities, right?
Right.
So they're kind of gaining sale.
That's right, and some of those are going to the fleets now and whatnot, so they're definitely filling that gap, and it's showing.
It's showing in a big way.
Yeah, it is. Now let's move on to the Chevy Silverado, and you'll see what we're talking about in terms of big sales gains. This year, quarter 3, 153,853 trucks.
Yes, that's a 16.2% improvement. Mm-hmm. So not as big of a improvement as the Sierra, actually. So the Sierra is growing quicker than the Silverado.
That's right. So it's going, and but still, I mean, that's a significant amount of trucks. When you combine the two together, that makes over 220,000 trucks. That's impressive.
Yeah, when you combine the Silverado and the Sierra. But let's touch on the Ram before we go to Ford.
Right.
So Ram sold in, once again, Q3, 161,635 trucks, which is a 14% improvement.
That's a damn good improvement.
Still a really good improvement. And 161,000 trucks, it's more than the Silverado.
Now, the point is that Ram has been, for a while now, on a tear, going up and up and up and up. So they've been showing some significant gains, and this year is no different, and they're up 14%.
Yeah, for the quarter over last year, and I don't think there's any really major slowdown in their growth. I mean that they had a good start with their new trucks, and now they're continuing that growth.
That's correct. All right, let's move on to number one. Not anymore.
Well, still best-selling truck by name.
By name,
So Ford F-Series sold 214,176 trucks.
Yeah, but that's down 6% from this time last year.
Yes, and 214,000, it's less when you combine, like we said, all the GM full-size trucks together. So I think Ford is feeling some pressure here.
They are, and we do know for a fact that they're in process of developing and nearly finished developing their new F-Series trucks.
So they're not resting.
They're not resting on their laurels
no.
at all. They're not going to wait.
No. So still by name, they still are number one sales.
Right.
If you combine like GM trucks, like we said, for the first time GM outsold them. Ram is doing really well, and the Tundra and the Titan, well, they're struggling a bit.
Well, the Titan
But
especially.
It's kind of typical to see in this list.
Let's move on, though, to mid-size trucks, and these are some very interesting numbers we did not expect to see.
Yeah, once again, let's go from the bottom to the very top. And let's start at the GMC Canyon.
The GMC Canyon sold this year 7,437 trucks. That is down 11.7% from last year.
Yeah, and so that's not good news.
It's not, but I actually have a reason for this. Yeah. Bear in mind that GMC right now doesn't have as many variations as Chevy does, their cousin, the Colorado.
Yeah.
So they don't have the ZR2 or the Bison or anything like that. They just have a few packages that you can get.
Right.
And I think that that's actually hurting them. That, and also there's a premium that you have to pay in order to get that truck.
But for 2020, they're saying they're going to unveil an AT4 Canyon.
Yep.
That's going to be a 2021 model. So that's going to come out, well, not soon, but within the year probably. So that should help them, right?
Absolutely.
And the Canyon and Colorado have been around since 2015. So they're aging a bit, right?
They are aging a bit, but as you'll see in a minute, the Colorado still manages to maintain a pretty good sales number. Let's move on to the next truck, if you want to call that a truck. Some of you don't. Yeah, mid-sized truck. And that is the Honda Ridgeline.
Yeah.
Now, it's very interesting. Honda Ridgeline sold 8,378 vehicles in the third quarter. That's up 3.6%.
Yeah, if you consider the yearly numbers, that is up in a pretty big way. And I mean, they've struggled a bit. They're kind of maintaining.
They're maintaining though.
So 3% is not a huge increase, right? So they're maintaining sales. They sold more than the Titan. That's like what we mentioned before.
And
right?
the Canyon too.
And the Canyon sold more than the Titan. So that's kind of gives you the relative guideline right there.
Well, the Honda Ridgeline hasn't seen too many changes recently, and on top of that, what Honda told me directly was that they have a lot of return sales and a lot of Honda people come back, and when they've gotten rid of their SUV because the kids are out, they go and pick up the Ridgeline. So they're really able to keep it going within their own family.
And for now, for 2019, it still has a 6-speed automatic. So they've maintained their mechanicals for several years. They're not updating it right now.
Right, but we hear rumors of that will be significantly updated soon.
So let's move on to the oldest truck on this list.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, it's actually older than most of the equipment we have in this room and some of the people who work for us.
Nissan Frontier.
The Nissan Frontier. Yeah, it's ancient. And quarter three, they sold 15,364 trucks.
Not bad. And Frontier sales continue the same pattern. They sell really well one month, and then they kind of crash on the next month, and up and down. But they're maintaining for the year approximately the same volume, which is amazing. 54,000 trucks for the year so far, and down 8% year to year.
Yeah, but consider the fact of how much money they make per truck. When they stamp something so old and they're still able to sell it, they make so much money by comparison. But it's really starting to fall behind technologically in terms of capability and safety. So Nissan knows this, and we hear that that is their next big project that we'll be hearing about shortly, the new Nissan Frontier. It's
supposed to come out in 2021, so we're still yet to see it. But they're working on it for sure. And pretty amazing. Still pretty good sales. Let's move on to some newer trucks on their list.
Right.
Which is, then next on the list is the Jeep Gladiator.
The Jeep Gladiator did very well. 16,132 sales.
Yeah, and it's basically been on sale for a few months, so we don't have a comparison for last year, right?
No, we don't.
So it's a new truck, but it outsold the Frontier in the quarter.
Yep.
Which is a pretty good result.
And the
already.
Ridgeline and the GMC
Yeah.
Canyon.
Yeah.
And I mean, those numbers are pretty good. And, you know, the demand is there and the sales look like they're continuing to increase.
And the Gladiator trucks are lifestyle trucks. They're pretty expensive. I mean, they
Yeah.
go up to like $63,000 for a fully loaded Rubicon.
Yeah, wait till the diesels come out. That's going to be even more money.
Yes, absolutely. So it's pretty good to see that number for them. Next up, of course, is Ford Ranger, which is doing even better.
Yeah, it's doing really well. Ford Ranger is kicking ass. 26,211 in the third quarter of 2019.
Once again, it's a new truck. We have no comparison for last year.
Right.
But that's a lot of trucks. Over 8,000 trucks per month they're moving off the lot. And so that's a really good result. And they're approaching the Chevy Colorado, which is number 2.
That's right. That's 31,657 trucks for the third quarter. But it's
down.
It's down a bit.
Yeah, it's down 9.5%. Which is it's a little bit worrisome, and it kind of matches what is happening to the Canyon.
Right.
So both of them are down, although the Colorado still maintains that second sales position.
Now, according to Chevrolet, we've received some data. They are going to be doing some updates, but they're really minor updates.
Yeah, but they're kind of slow with their updates with the Colorado. So GM, if you want to kind of stay on top, you got to update your truck.
Yeah, like a new interior and a whole bunch of other
And maybe
stuff.
a new grille, new headlights,
transmission.
Update something.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, lower the price.
Top of the list, not surprisingly though, is the Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah, yes, true. But, well, first of all, they sold 65,756. That is almost all of the sales combined
Of all the competition.
all the competition. However, that is not good news for Toyota.
Well, because they're down in September, 17.7% in September down compared to last September.
That's a major drop.
That's a double-digit major drop for a sales leader in the segment. They're still maintaining their leadership for the year.
Right.
I mean, they're still there with 187,000 trucks sold approximately. But I think they're feeling pressure once again from the competition.
Yeah, if you actually combine, once again, GM sales, the Chevy Colorado and the GMC Canyon, even though they've dropped a bit, their numbers are starting to creep up to Toyota numbers. So there is something to be said here about Toyota being untouchable. They might not be as untouchable as we thought.
They used to tell us that rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
You know, that more trucks, the better. But, the Ranger and the Jeep are growing, and Toyota is not.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting development. We were not expecting this. I expected to see them either flat or even go up a percentage or two. So Toyota's going to have to do a few things in order to keep the people interested.
And they do have a 2020 Tacoma that Roman recently drove.
That's right.
So that's coming. So hopefully that will help them.
We'll see.
And go back to tfltruck.com for more news, views, and
Real world reviews.
heck yeah.
See you guys.